Hey, Will King here from High Cotton Homes, and today we're at the International Builder Show, and I've ran into a good friend of mine, Fred Malik from Fortified. I thought it'd be cool to make a video with Fred and tell builders like myself what Fortified is. You know, Fred, thanks, first of all. Thanks
Yeah,
for
good to see you,
joining me
buddy.
today. But I wanted to talk about, when I'm a builder in North Alabama, as you know,
Sure.
I'd always heard about Fortified, but I never really understood what it is and why it's important to me as a builder, not on the coast, but yet inland, I
Yeah,
guess you would say.
yeah, sure.
So tell us a little bit about what you do at Fortified.
Yeah,
Start
so
with.
I work for a company called IBS, and we're a research organization. We look at how buildings come apart in natural disasters,
Right.
and develop some strategies to keep that from happening. And that's what Fortified is. We take the research that we do at IBHS,
Yep.
we put it into a usable format. That's called Fortified. And then
Mhm.
a part of Fortified is when somebody participates, they document their projects, they submit that to our team for review, and they can get a certificate that can unlock a whole host of incentives and benefits for them and for their customer.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that drew me as a builder to really look at Fortified, because when you think about the discount that our homeowner and the benefits they get, it's huge, and it's a great selling point to our customers.
Yeah.
But I've also found it fascinating, the research that's gone in, like actually seeing the research facilities and all the wind tunnels that you guys have. It's really cool to see what y'all put into this program. Fortified on a high level. Let's talk about. There's 3 tiers, right?
Yep.
We got three
Yep.
tiers.
Yep. So there's the roof, the silver, and the gold. And we'll talk a little bit about the research first. So the research that we've done looks at how buildings come apart, why they come apart, and in what order does that damage occur.
Right.
And so that led us to putting together the program in those 3 levels.
Mhm.
Roof is where most of the failures occur.
Right.
They occur in the most frequent events and really low intensity. So once we know that that's what's likely to happen, we can give builders strategies on how to deal with that. And so there's 3 main things that builders got to worry about when they're trying to fortify their roofs. That's nailing it down. That's getting the roof deck attached to the structure.
Right, with the right nailing pattern.
With the right nailing pattern,
nails,
yep.
right?
Ring shank nails, and depending on where you are, if you're in a hurricane zone, 4 inches on center.
Mhm.
If you're in someplace like where you are in upstate Alabama, it's 6 inches on center.
Yep.
Super simple, not a
Mhm.
ton of retraining, not a ton of expense. So
Yep.
nailing it down, and you double the uplift strength of that roof deck just by changing those nails
Right.
and going with that 6-inch pattern. So that's the first thing. The second thing is called sealing the roof deck.
Mhm.
You know, that's something that is making its way into code, but we've been doing it a long time. And what that is when the roof cover fails, and
Yep.
let's be candid about it, it's likely that it's going to fail, particularly if it's shingles, because the older they get, the harder it is for them to do the
Right.
job.
Right.
So if we anticipate the roof cover is going to fail, we can do something about that. Sealing the roof deck, there's 3 strategies from the top side.
Mhm.
You can use tape and mechanically fastened underlayments.
Right.
You can use systems like Zip
Yep.
or the LP products that have tape and a water-resistant barrier adhered to the panel.
Correct.
Or you can use 2-ply 30-pound underlayment.
Mhm.
That's really appropriate for things like tile roofs and some of
Gotcha.
your other roofing systems that
Yep.
would do better with something like that. The roof needs to breathe more.
Mhm.
So that's the second part, sealing it up.
Right.
And then the last part is getting the edges right. That's securing it around the perimeter. That involves things like drip edge
Yep.
and paying attention to how shingles in particular are applied at the edges, because that's where the highest pressures a building is going to see.
Right. The first place we're going to see failure, right?
Yep.
Is on the
Most
edges.
likely.
Yeah,
sure.
You know, we talk about sealed roof decks, and a lot of us are building sealed roof decks already. It's not uncommon for a lot of builders to be doing that in some capacity already. But even if you're not using Zip, I like what you said. Just being able to tape the seams of a commodity OSB is a great way to seal it.
Yep.
But I'll speak to that quickly. So my previous careers, you know, Fred, I was a fireman, right? And
Yep.
we used to do a lot of natural disaster relief work, whether it was on the coast for hurricane relief or tornado damaged areas. I'll never forget back in 2011 when all the tornadoes ripped up Alabama, and seeing all these neighborhoods that had damage. And then you would see houses that only were missing part of their roof, but yet the resources were so overwhelmed, nobody could get to it and help them cover their house.
Yeah.
So then the rain came and just kept pounding this house or these houses, and ended up losing their contents because of the water. Even though their structure was still there, they ended up taking on so much water. So sealing that roof deck, it really, and I've actually got a cool video that shows a fire truck spraying a roof deck and how a sealed roof deck really makes the difference. So that's the first step, right? I mean, I think with builders like myself, the first step you're going to start with Fortified, is going to be that roof certification.
Yeah, getting that roof done, and you're right, Will, that there are a lot of folks that are doing parts of the system.
Yep.
But the key to that durability and getting it so that you can get that certificate and get those incentives is to do them all together, because it's really how the roof is functioning as a system. You know, I had a similar personal experience. I'm a builder by trade. Before I went to work for IBS, I live in Florida, been through countless hurricanes.
Right.
Just watching the devastation that comes along, even when the house isn't structurally compromised, but just water gets in. It's terrible. And we, as builders, can do something about that.
And it's not hard, and that's the thing. And that's what, like, it's wild, because it's really not that much more money as a builder if you're selling your customer to upgrade to a sealed roof deck and upgrade to a fortified roof to meet that standard. And people think it's going to be expensive. It's really not. And then the savings, once you present that to your customer about the 25% discount or 20%, depending on where you live, and I know every state's a little bit different. It's significant, and it'll almost pay for itself just in a few years.
It can,
and it's a peace of mind for that customer, and just delivering a much higher quality. So we talked about the roof. The next would be the platinum or silver, right? Silver, and that's something that we've done it as a company. And I know, like, wind rated garage doors, your windows and doors. And tell me why garage doors are so important for I guess the design for the pressure.
The majority of our houses are designed today to be fully enclosed. That means that all the pressures, all that stress being applied to the exterior of the building envelope. The system collects the pressure and the load and puts it into the ground. Now what happens is when a garage door fails, and garage doors, particularly in places like where you live and build, they fail because of pressure way before they fail because something hits it. Okay? And so when the pressure compromises the door, all that air rushes in, and it pushes from the inside out, and that's where you get those really dramatic failures.
And I've been to a number of houses where you walk in after a tornado and a high wind event, and you walk around the outside, and you'll see windows just bowed out. And it's because the pressure coming in, something like a garage door, just forces them out. It's fascinating. The gold standard for Fortified is going to be all the things we've talked about, plus a structurally engineered framing system that's everything's tied appropriately to qualify.
It's called a continuous load path. It can be done whether you're using traditional wood frame, block, SIPs, ICF, all that stuff. Any wall system you're using, you can get a continuous load path that meets the Fortified requirements. And I know we've only basically touched on this. People can get information about this at our website, fortifiedhome.org. And we also have training available for folks like evaluators, roofing contractors, design professionals, builders. You can get that training at fortifiedwise.com.
And that's where they can go to find the trainings to go to? Okay, and I've been to that training personally, and I will say that it's very, very helpful. That's actually when I finally understood the whole concept of Fortified, and even as a builder not on the coast, of how I could use it. So if you haven't been to that training, go check out their website and learn a little bit more about Fortified. And I guess if they have any questions, they can email someone at Fortified
they can
right?
Contact us, and we also have a network of evaluators. You started to work with an evaluator when you started getting interested, and that evaluator is trained in Fortified and can be a good resource to counsel you on, hey, these are some of the decisions you need to be aware of. This is the documentation we're going to need at the end, so you can deliver that certificate to your homeowner.
Awesome. Well, good stuff, Fred. Thank you. And again, if you're a builder and you're watching this video and you don't know about Fortified, it's something that you really need to pay attention to. It's a great way to elevate the overall quality of your build. And that's what we're all trying to do anyway, is build a better house than we did yesterday. Check out Fortified, though. It's a great way to do it. It's a great way to pass on those benefits to your customers. They'll really, really appreciate it. So guys, if you're not already following us on Instagram, please do so. It's at High Cotton Homes. Also, Fortified's on Instagram too, and it's at Fortified Standard. So be sure to go follow their accounts and learn more about the Fortified Standard. And guys, just remember, iron sharpens iron, so keep grinding, keep watching these videos, and we'll see you again right here next week.